It is a debate that has raged on, well, maybe not raged, since the dawn of time. Also not true. What is better, a smartphone and a tablet, or a foldable phone that unfolds into a tablet? Today, we find out. Let's go. This should hopefully answer the question for a lot of people. On one hand, you could invest your money into a high-end tablet and a high-end smartphone, or you can do it all from one, a device that folds up conveniently from being a tablet and then goes into your pocket. We have a message from today's sponsor a little bit later, which could tip the scales one way or the other, but more on that later. Let's start with the phone and the tablet and the advantages you can get from that. The purpose of this combination has very clear lines drawn for each device. The phone is your convenience device, goes with you everywhere. With the tablet as your companion when you need something bigger, you pull it out of your bag and expand it out. It's more for meaningful productivity and entertainment, a bit more purposeful for that use case. Lots of people also like bringing a tablet when they travel. Sometimes it's the only way they use a tablet is when they are going somewhere, and otherwise the tablet just kind of collects dust around the house. What you get with the Tab S9 Ultra and the S24 Ultra specifically is the best hardware in each category of phone and tablet. The S24 Ultra has Samsung's best camera system, the most flexible camera system, everywhere from ultra wide all the way up to 10 times zoom. You're going to get very, very good shot, whether that be in photos or video, and all of the plethora of camera modes to support that. It's got the best processor, it's got the best display, best materials used, S Pen inbuilt into it, all the bells and whistles you could want out of a slab smartphone that Samsung make. The S24 Ultra has it. The Tab S9 Ultra is the same, at least at the time of recording this video. It gives you the best of Samsung's tablet experience. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, the S Pen that comes bundled with it, an incredible display, 120Hz adaptive refresh, and for its size, 14.6-inch display, it is both thin and light. You can extend its capabilities with the keyboard, and whilst people might debate about how good this keyboard combination is, I really like it, so that's for me. I used this keyboard to draft the idea for this video, and especially when used on a flat surface, it's very, very enjoyable to use. And then you factor in Samsung DeX on top of that, and this tablet basically becomes a laptop replacement as well. That's not even mentioning the ecosystem benefits that you get when you have these two devices sort of paired with each other. Especially things like Samsung Flow, where you can mirror your phone screen on the tablet. So when you're out and about, you can just work from one and leave the phone sort of sitting there either in your pocket or on the desk next to you. Really, really easy to use. But even with all of that, they're still separate. You still need to remember to bring your tablet when you need it, and you still need to bring it into a bag. It's not portable enough that you can just walk around carrying it, especially if you've got kids. It's very, very difficult to sort of manage and comprehend that. But you know what each device is, and they stick to it. S24 Ultra, the on-the-go productivity machine that also creates really good content, and the Tab S9 Ultra, which is your ultimate laptop replacement and entertainment device. Foldables, on the other hand, are aiming to cater for both. You have a very nice to use smartphone on the front that unfolds into a tablet and then folds back again, so you can carry it around with you everywhere in your pocket. Before we get into that though, I want to talk a little bit about today's sponsor, uPerfect, who might just tip the scales one way or the other with what they have to offer. The uPerfect lapdock can take your smartphone and make it your computer. So rather than needing to get a tablet, or rather than needing to get a phone that opens up into a tablet, you might just want to get a phone and then take the laptop with you when you need it. Because you can use this around the house, you can use this when traveling, and the laptop, when you simply plug into it, creates your phone into your computer via Samsung DeX. With a trackpad and a very nice to use keyboard, it easily transforms you into that sort of productivity environment. With the uPerfect laptop specifically, it has a wireless charging pad at the top as well. And because it supports wireless DeX, this could be a great way of removing the need for cables and just taking a phone and the laptop with you. The laptop also converts into a tablet, where you can actually spin it round 360 with the hinge, and you have a touchscreen 15.6-inch display staring back at you. uPerfect have been very kind to give you guys a discount code to use. Use the codes on screen now and the links in the description to grab yours today. And thanks uPerfect for sponsoring this video. A foldable's goal is to replace two devices, or or at least you depend more on one instead of needing to invest into two. The Fold 6 in particular, with the smartphone size screen on the front, lets you interact with One UI in a very familiar way. In fact, it's exactly the same way as you used to on a normal smartphone. Difference with the Fold 6 in particular is it's a bit narrower, but as I've said before, that works in its favor because it's more comfortable to use one-handed. But in terms of usage, there's no software being nerfed. It doesn't operate differently like maybe another cover screen would on like a flip phone. It's all as is on a smartphone basis from the front. You're not missing out on anything. Because it has an inner display, you don't want it to be too unwieldy and uncomfortable when closed. And the Fold 6 is not that. I like to say if you sold this on its own, it'll be pretty decent flagship offering. So it shouldn't be discounted as a smartphone because it's very good. But that's the thing. It's not working by itself. It's got a teammate to work with. A teammate that operates as a tablet. It is a different aspect ratio to the Tab S9 Ultra and the Tab S9 Plus and the Tab S9 as well. But what I really like about it is the aspect ratio actually suits productivity more because of the way you can have two apps running concurrently in like a more traditional smartphone style. For a lot of users, the Fold 6 just replaces the need for a tablet at all. It supports the S Pen, so you get that bigger canvas if you like to take notes or draw on that inside display. Content consumption is great on it, so it's not something you need to lug around with you. It's just a nice big screen that you can actually fit somewhere comfortable, your pockets. And when you have the flex mode, you have something that you can prop it up with as well. It's got capable flagship cameras, which a lot of people point out is not the Ultra cameras, but it's definitely good enough, like more than good enough. The output you get from these is to a really high level, especially because Samsung upped the processing with the Fold 6 to sort of maybe compensate for the not so good hardware or the lesser hardware compared to the Ultra. And with all the flex mode stuff that it can do, it can actually capture more styles of content versus what a normal smartphone can do. If you're looking for that all-in-one device, a foldable can do it. Samsung have really made the software sort of easily transferable from a tablet into this. The taskbar started on the Fold. So your multitasking and productivity environment is super intuitive to sort of switch between and utilize. So if you do need to get that little bit of extra work done, like writing a script or answering emails, that bigger display works. And then you can multitask alongside that as well, still in big screen environments. The drawbacks are obviously that the screen's not as big. You can't get first-party accessories like a keyboard, for example. You've got Samsung DeX, but not on-device Samsung DeX. But whilst you can get an attachment like the uPerfect lapdock, it's still an extra thing you'll need to bring around with you. But there's just so much to love about a Fold as that all-in-one. If you're a sales rep that works on the road, you don't need to lug around with you a big backpack with a tablet or a laptop in there. You've got your Fold that can unfold and sort of cater for that environment, that situation. You don't need to be carrying around with you a big tablet to do it because you have one in your pocket. Ultimately, it just comes down to whether you think a foldable can do what it is you need it to do. If your tablet workflow basically just involves media consumption, your Fold 6 can cater for that. But if you are looking for a device that maybe is a little bit more purpose-built, something where you can be a bit more intentional about your usage, you might not need to use it every day for that purpose, but once in a while, you don't mind carrying around with you, then a tablet, and in particular Tab S9 Ultra, can really help with that. So you put that into your bag and take it with you, and you have that bigger environment to sort of utilize. But I would recommend getting a keyboard of some kind. Using the Tab S9 or the Tab S9 Ultra without that, it's very big. And the on-screen keyboard experience, whilst is functional, it's not as quick. So if you were talking no keyboard, Fold 6 every day. Don't even bother with a tablet, just use the Fold 6. But I think the Tab S9 Ultra with its keyboard kind of elevates it a little bit more into laptop territory. And when paired with a smartphone, you get that ecosystem as well. Let me know which combination you like the sound of the most, whether it's the Tab S9 Ultra and the S24 Ultra, or just the Fold 6 on its own. Up to you. You let me know. Hit subscribe to Tech with Benefits. Plenty more Samsung content on its way, and I'll see you in the next one.